Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bracha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Exodus, the 19th chapter. And as we saw in the 18th chapter, with the Lord putting the spirit on Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, to come and visit him, bringing along his family, and leaving him with sound advice on how to govern and judge the people, okay, in a way where he wouldn't be burnt out, and neither would the people. In the 9th month, when the children, in the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel encamped before the mount. And see if I can pull this up again. Let me just type here wilderness sin map. There you go. There you go. Where was it? Where was it? Where are you? It's one that I had earlier, but nowadays it's difficult to find some good ones out here. I really like that map. It's a good map. All right, I suppose we can just settle for maybe this one here. Okay. So they've encamped about the mount. This is the very mount that the Lord appeared to Moses on before he went back into Egypt, and told him that this is where he would bring the Israelites back to. Verse 3, and Moses went up unto God, and the Lord Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. And the phrase bearing you on eagle's wings, we know that wasn't literal, but it's a metaphor to represent how the Lord swiftly delivered us out of Egypt and brought us unto himself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure, a special treasure, unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. So the Lord, as he said, the whole earth is his, right? He owns it all. He owns everybody, but we would stand out. We would be a special people, separated from all the rest, above, okay? Separated to be above all the other nations on the planet, all right? If we keep his covenant. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation, all right? And so as a whole, the Lord would view us as, this, if you looked at the entire planet, right, with all these different nations, we would be likened onto that priestly nation. And the priests are the closest unto the Lord. Hence, you have the tribe of Levi, which are, which of whom come the priests. And the name is what? Lawyer, joined unto me. So, as it says, an unholy nation, meaning we would be sanctified and separate from every other nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So the Lord calls Moses. He tells Moses, this is the intro contract, right? The beginning that I want you to go and tell the children of Israel. That if indeed you will obey me, you follow my covenant, you agree to this deal, then you're going to be my special people, and I'm going to make you above everybody else. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. So he basically told them. Now, it was needful that he spoke to the elders, because once again, there's a chain of command, right? If Moses was to try and, tell every single itty bitty individual, it wouldn't work. So the elders, interestingly enough, as Moses was a mediator between the Most High and the people, the elders were like a mediator between Moses and the people. Okay, so if they had a problem, they would go to the elders, and the elders would come to Moses. And likewise, when Moses had something to say, he would tell the elders and they would disseminate the message in the camp, because this was a lot of people you're dealing with. And all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord Yahweh hath spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. So basically, prepare yourself, because I'm going to make my appearance in the presence of the people, and they can hear my voice, and they can see that I'm speaking with you, and they can hear what I'm saying, and so that they'll know, all right, Moses is not hallucinating, he's not making it up. This definitely isn't coincidence. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord Yahweh. And the Lord said unto Moses, go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes. So sanctify them, meaning instruct them, to abstain from anything that would make them unclean, right? And to make themselves clean, to wash themselves, to wash their clothes, and to be purified, and be ready against the third day. So by the third day, they should be ready and sanctified. For the third day, the Lord Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. So they would see the presence of the Lord upon that mount. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about. So you're going to set boundaries around this mountain. So nobody, right, saying, take heed to yourselves, to the people, that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall surely be put to death. Because ain't no, you just don't do that, right? If the presence of the Lord is there, the only ones that he calls are the ones that are allowed to be in that presence. You can see it, but as he told Moses, and this was sternly too, you make sure that they understand, because they're already hard-headed as it is. Make sure they understand not to come close, because Jake, they'll get curious. Oh, what's going on over there? Oh shit, yo, what's that about? And then go and try to cross that or touch it, they're gonna die. There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through. Shot through meaning with an arrow. That's the punishment for anybody that disobeys this order. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. So that will be the signal. When you hear that loud and long sounding trumpet, then you come and come around to see. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day, come not at your wives. And what it means by that is don't have sex with your wives, because the act of sex actually does make you unclean, okay, temporarily, as the seed of copulation, leaves the the man, or it leaves your body. It makes you unclean. And that, when you go into the laws, it tells you that, it expounds a bit more on that. Verse 16, and it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunderings, or thunders, and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud. So you imagine that? I mean, because you can imagine at this point, you probably have and this I'm speculating here, right? But just to paint a visual, you probably do have a literal cloud, but you likely have a chariot in it. And that's where you're getting the sound from. Just like today, you have a car, and the car has a speaker, and you can play things in it. So they're seeing lightnings, they're hearing thunder. There's this thick cloud covering the top of the mountain, and they're hearing this loud trumpet, this sound. Like the entrance of somebody very powerful making their way there. It says exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. Not that they were shook in the temporary or a light sense. They trembled. They were like afraid because of how loud it was, and seeing all of those things. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. So he basically brought them closer to the mountain, and the nether part meaning the end, right? Because you had the top of the mountain and you had the bottom. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord Yahweh descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended. So it was like the top of the mountain was burning. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly, so it was shaking. Imagine this, a loud trumpet sounding probably like a ram's horn. The mountain itself is shaking, so the ground where you're standing on is probably shaking. You see thunders and lightnings, you see the smoke going up. You like, yo, like, whoa. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. So he probably called on to the Lord. Oh, Yahweh, hear me. Yeah, and it says the Lord, the voice answered him. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount. And the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord Yahweh to gaze, and many of them perish. So when he called Moses up there, he said, Go back down and go and make sure you warn them that they better not dare try to come closer into the mountain and try to climb it and try to come up here to see, because they're going to die. And let the priests also, which come near to the Lord, sanctify themselves. So, because the priests were the ones who would do the serving of the Lord, but they themselves had to be sanctified as well, lest the Lord break forth upon them. And Moses said unto the Lord Yahweh, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us. You gave us the order, right? Saying, set bounds about the mount and sanctify it, and we did it. And the Lord said unto him, Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. So he said, Nope, go back down and go and warn them again. And next time when you come up with your brother Aaron. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up onto the Lord Yahweh, lest he break forth upon him. And him breaking forth upon him meaning he's going to kill him. If you see, imagine the visual of being at a gas station, and then say like a fire, a lighter or something drops and catches the trail of that gas, and eventually it burns and burns and burns, and then it hits where the main, I don't want to call it powder keg, but the main trigger is, and boom, out of nowhere it's just like a massive explosion, almost even like a grenade that goes off. Imagine that as like a breaking forth, like a sudden judgment. So Moses went down unto the people and spake unto them. Because with Jake, you can't just say it once. You got to double, triple, quadruple check. And they still gonna go. Oh man, these people, man. Oh my goodness. Like I myself am an Israelite, right? And I myself get to the point. I'm like, yo, how do you even? I can't even deal with these people, let alone the Most High being the God of these people. Man, shit. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the book of Exodus, the 19th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.